we're going to get started on a brand new game in the next couple of minutes. Sorry I'm running a little late. Just trying to get back from vacation and wow, just still a little worn out. But I did want to give this a go, so we're going to give it a shot. It's a brand new game, so, well, one I haven't played here before. So anyway, just give me a moment here and we will get started. Oh goodness, that volume's a little loud. Let me see if I can adjust that slightly here. See if that's much better. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're just going to transition over. And yeah, we're going to be playing Hakuoki, which is a visual novel. Haven't really done much with this one. I did play a little bit just to make sure it sort of works with my computer. But otherwise, yeah, it's a visual novel involving samurais and the Shinsengumi in particular, and I think it was the Hakuoki period, or Edo period. So yeah, let's just give this a go. New game. I think that should work. And the reason why it says Chiziru here is because, yeah, I was trying to do a test just to make sure things are working. I'm going to use the default name. I don't think they really say her name or anything, so I don't really think it's really going to do much. Just save for staying with how things are done. So just give me one moment here. Just need to adjust my camera a little, and I think the light, because oh my god, I'm getting blinded here. I'm getting blinded. Okay, that's a little better. I don't feel like I'm staring into a sun. So let's start a new game. And here we go. This is a work of fiction. Name, characters, misses, place, events, or they may have real life connections, but maybe not. I don't want to skip the prologue because, again, was testing it out earlier. I want to do the whole thing. I want to do it with you guys. So let's try this out. There we go. December 1864. Oh, the character voices are on in this one, so I don't have to do as much talking, but I do have to do some. So this is Kyoto. It was awfully impressive, no denying it. Even simple hellos between people passing in the streets seemed warm and friendly. They nodded and smiled to one another as if family and not strangers about on errands. Still, there was something else as well. Something making the city feel strangely cold. As though there was a great invisible wall shutting out anyone wandering from the country. I'm not too sure if I belong here. No, that's all in my head. I walked quite some distance to reach Kyoto, and both my mind and body were exhausted. Even so, tiredness was no reason to meander and feel sorry for myself. I couldn't afford to. Excuse me. I hesitantly stopped a passerby. I'm sorry. I seem to be a little lost. Could you... What am I supposed to do now? I was lost again, but in a different sort of way. I sighed and looked up at the darkening sky. The sun was beginning to set. People I'd spoken to showed me no unkindness, and they'd given me directions I needed, but... was now really the best time to leave the city? Learning that the person I hoped to visit had left town caused hope to seep from my crumbling resolve. The only person, besides father, that I could rely on in the city, who I could rely on, was Dr. Matsumoto. Wait. The only person besides father I could rely on in this city who I could rely on. I'll chalk that up as a translation error, I guess. Dr. Matsumoto was a doctor serving the shogunate. I had never met him myself, but my father put a great deal of trust in the man. He had told me that if I ran into any trouble in his absence, I was to contact Dr. Matsumoto. unfortunately, Dr. Matsumoto was out on business and would not return for some time. Was I too hasty? Perhaps I should have waited. It is indeed rude to visit without warning, which is why I had sent a letter prior to my arrival. But it seems he had left before reading my letter. Oh, that sucks. Perhaps I thought I should have waited for a reply before traveling to an unfamiliar city. But I can no longer spend time waiting idly for news. Oh, Dad. I think that's Dad. Okay. Chiziru. Okay, he doesn't say the name, so that's probably the reason why it's totally non-vocal. Is something wrong, Father? Okay, so that is his father. Okay. Alright. He paused for a moment and looked at me.
実はな、しばらくの間、京の都へ行くことになった。
Oh, okay. So, he is Dad. And is it for business again? He left the house often during that period. Sometimes for days at a time. How long will you be gone?
それはわからん。一月になるか、二月になるか。
That's a long time to leave a person alone. Now, I guess my question now becomes, how old am I? That is one thing I didn't really look up. Oh. There was no hiding my disappointment. Nonetheless, I wasn't a child anymore. I couldn't beg him not to go or some other foolishness. Yes, I'd be lonely, but I was much more worried for him. Please, Father, be careful. They say that the city of Kyoto is dangerous. He only smiled and nodded.
安心しなさい。お前が心配しないように、京にいる間はできる限り手紙を書くよ。
Okay, so that's good. We'll at least we'll be in contact with him that way, rather than absolutely nothing. Okay, you promise? Father kept his promise. A new letter arrived so often that I scarcely had the time to respond before another would arrive. He told me that he worried about me being home all by myself. Well, yeah, what parent wouldn't worry for their child to be home all alone? Then the letter stopped. A whole month passed with no word. Father, they say Kyoto is full of ronin. It is not a safe place. Usually, a samurai is paid by their house, but ronin who report to no house often rob people in order to make ends meet. They're nothing more than violent criminals who hide behind the image of the samurai. Such is the state of Kyoto, the city of ronin. Small wonder, then, that I worried for my father. My mind would concoct horrible possibilities, and I often found myself depressed and tense. First, I suppose I need to find a place to stay. Lost in thought, I didn't notice nightfall descend. If I was honest with myself, I hadn't the faintest idea of how long searching for him would take. I brought a negligible sum of money with me, enough to last me a month, if used wisely. Finding Father in this window of time was a must. Otherwise, I would have to depend on Dr. Matsumoto returning in this time, or else I'd be forced to return home without a word. Well, at any rate, I should try and be as frugal as possible. I lengthened my stride and set off on my path. Fortunately for me, men's clothing assisted with keeping a quicker pace than women. Oh, okay, so you're switching up to a guy's outfit. Actually, that would probably lead to a lot more freedom of movement in general, like not just like in regards to stride and things like that, but just freedom, be able to do what you need to do, because obviously women would have been treated differently then and probably not allowed to do too much or certain things, I guess. Kyoto presented many dangers to a young girl hoping to explore the city without direction. My disguise, such as it was, proved successful, and I safely made it all the way to Kyoto. Such success went to my head and led me to believe I could explore Kyoto as I pleased. Probably not what I was looking to do. Well, I did want to obviously I did want to look around, but still. But Kyoto is not a safe place. I should have remembered that. Instead, I had somehow convinced myself that the city's hidden dangers didn't apply to me. Oh crap. Yeah, the hidden dangers do not apply to. Oh yes I do, they apply to everyone. We're in trouble. We're likely very much in trouble. I was about to discover otherwise. No eyes! No eyes! Oh gosh, that's scary. I spun around. In the street in front of me were 3 Ronin. Can I help you? I did my best to keep my voice calm, reaching nonchalantly for my kadachi. My father encouraged me to take sword lessons. I kept up with them. I did rather well. I was confident enough in defending myself. However, perhaps my overconfidence in myself is what served the situation at hand to me. Oh boy. Oops, I pressed the wrong button. I messed up and let my guard down. My fault. There was a chance I could take them on, but wait, there's 3 of them though. Am I that good? There are 3 of them and 1 of me. Yeah. Not bloody likely I'm gonna get very far here. Not bloody likely. Only then did I realize they're far more interested in my sword than they were in me. Oh, I'm now a pup. Okay. It's interesting that they have, I'm just going to adjust things slightly just so it's a little bit easier for me to read here, so just bear with me for a minute. There we go. It's interesting though that it's 3 people, but I only see 1 of them on screen, but I guess that's probably as to how they did the visual novel at that point. But yeah, quite a pickle here, quite a pickle. But the sword wasn't just some blade I'd picked up. It was a family heirloom spanning generations. There was no way I could give it to the Ronin. Though I had a feeling they wouldn't understand. In such a situation, the best decision was to undoubtedly to retreat. I gotta get out of here. I turned and ran as fast as my legs could. Oh boy. Gosh, they sure don't give up easily, do they? I felt like I'd been running for quite a while, but I could still hear the Ronin cursing loudly. I ducked into an alley, flattening against the wall. After deciding they weren't too close, I crept farther into the alley. Someone left a couple of sheets of wood paneling against one of the houses, a perfect hiding spot. What luck, I thought, kneeling down under them. This is my way to escape this mess. Huh? I was listening for sounds intently. A suspicious calm entered my mind. I expected to hear the Ronin yelling to each other, looking for me, but seconds turned into minutes. I heard nothing. I was about to sneak out and to have a look when... That does not sound good. That sounds like death, destruction, and everything else. So yeah, that does not sound very positive. What? My plan to investigate was immediately halted. Remaining silent and hidden was more important. Still,
くそやりやがったなくそなんで死なねえんだよダメだこいつら刀が効かねえ
okay, they met with something bad. It was then that true fear began to set in. There was something dangerous out there. Something quite possibly lethal. My imagination conjured up no shortage of gruesome theories. I've got a very vivid imagination here, it sounds like. Extremely vivid here. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's just pretty strong, sounds like. Even so, I could feel an itch of curiosity. I wanted to know what was out there. Carefully, I peeked around the corner's edge. The cold reflection of moonlight upon a blade glared at me, and my eyes followed it to the arm that held it, clad in a coat of light blue. Had this person saved me? But no slower than that it appeared, my hope vanished. Okay, that does not sound good, or human for that matter. I heard the Ronin stumbling to beg for his life. The person in blue coat said nothing, just stepped forward, his sword raised. Yeah, I think that person's dead. And I met with a crazy person, apparently. A high, screeching laugh cut the man's scream. Holy hell, you didn't need to go that far. You already killed him, you didn't need to go stabbing him like crazy. The blade fell through the air like a butcher's knife rather than a sword. No skill, just death. The scream turned wet, caught and disappeared like air leaving half-empty bellows. My eyes went wide. I had just witnessed a murder. Any strength I received vanished quickly. My legs gave way and I crumpled to the ground. My eyes widened like busted shells. He died with the first blow, but as I watched, the blades fell, carving lines into the corpse. The soft slip of a blade through flesh, the silent creep of blood across ground. I felt nothing from them but madness. Their only desire was raw, animalistic violence. Whoever they were, it wasn't human. They were broken. I could feel my throat clench tightly and a warm, dark smell brushed against my face. I slowly recognized the coppery tang of blood. An icy bolt of fear ran down my spine, crawling into my limbs and freezing me in place. I was terrified. What was I going to do, and what could I do? You have to run, Chiziru. Okay, I'm talking to myself. I forced my jaw open and drew a ragged breath. This was the only chance I'd get. I had to. Ah! My body, still numb with fear, was unresponsive. I looked sideways against the stack of wood, and with a rough clatter, it collapsed. Oh! Crap. Eek. I'm in trouble. The creatures turned, coats drenched in blood. Their eyes looked at mine with mine and bore into me. Hideous grins split their inhuman faces, shaking with excitement as prey to slaughter. Ah! I had to run. I better run at this point. I couldn't die yet, but my legs refused to move. Their hideous cackling laughter echoed. I almost said crackling. I was going to die. My body was frozen with terror. I couldn't even scream. This was it. This was the end. We can't die yet. It's a prologue. We can't die yet. We can't die yet. Oh, what? I watched them raise their bloody swords, the moon glinting off the metal. Then there was a flash of light and the soft splash of blood. I could feel it, warm and sticky. Bile began to rise in my throat, but before disgust took hold, I heard a voice. Who? Okay. Another person with no eyes. Okay. The voice suggested disappointment, but the words sound... I should read. The words suggested disappointment, but the voice sounded happy.
僕一人で始末しちゃうつもりだったのに、はじめくん、こんな時に限って仕事が早いよね。
Okay. So we don't have a name for you yet. As he spoke, the strange man smiled, almost as if he were enjoying himself. Oh, he's one of those. Okay.
俺は務めを果たすべく動いたまでだ。あんたと違って俺に戦闘狂の気はない。
Oh, I recognize that name. Rurouni Kenshin. And he was part of the Shinsengumi in there. And he turned like police officer at that one. But he looks much different though in that anime, that's for sure. But I think he's actually based on an actual real life person. Okay, so we know that guy is Saito. Who are you? He laughed.
否定はしないのか。
The man called Saito sighed with the air of a long-suffering companion and looked at me.
でもさ、あいつらがこの子を殺しちゃうまで黙って見てれば、僕たちの手間も省けたんじゃないかな。
Oh, gosh. You're gonna kill me? Fantastic. His tone was light, but it confirmed my fears. I may have escaped the schemes of the Ronin, but I was ensnared by something much darker.
さあな。少なくともその判断は俺たちが下すべきものではない。
Okay, so whose decision is it to make if whether I lived or died? Huh? Then who was in charge of these two? Yeah, that's my question. Their conversation led me to believe that they were part of an organization. As I thought about it, I recalled hearing about men with blue coats. My thoughts were interrupted by a dark shape sliding into view. Somebody else, I guess? Yeah. Okay, you, sir, have the most purple eyes I've ever seen, or just the fact that you have purple eyes. Oh. I swallowed hard. The moonlight shone off his smooth, dark hair. For reasons I couldn't fathom, in that moment, the light on his hair made me think of the wistfulness of flower petals. I'm surprised she didn't say anything about snow, considering it's snowing right now. It was almost as if the cherry trees were blooming out of season.
運のないやつだ。
Yeah, you could definitely say that again, considering I just saw a bunch of people murdered and now I have a sword pointing at my throat. And people talking about killing me. His voice was cold and quiet, like a blade of ice. Blue-white moonlight lit his slender face and shone from the blade pointed at my chest. But it wasn't the sword making my breath catch. It was his eyes. They were fierce and hard, but somewhere behind them, I could catch a glimpse of something else. There could be no doubt that he is prepared to kill me, and yet he looked troubled. Not kindness, but perhaps mercy?
いいか、逃げるなよ。背を向ければ切る。
Yeah, I understand that very well. Thank you very much. I nodded. There was no doubt that he meant every word he said. He stared at me for a moment, then grimaced, then put his sword away, sighing. What? I was too surprised to stop myself from speaking, and it quickly became apparent that I wasn't the only one.
あれいいんですか、土方さん。この子、さっきの見ちゃったんですよ。
Hijikata. Okay, so Hijikata, Saito, and guy who just has question mark for names for right now. As he spoke to the man called Hijikata, his eyes narrowed. The man called Hijikata frowned back at him.
いちいち余計なことを喋るんじゃねえよ。下手な話を聞かせちまうと、始末せざるを得なくなるだろうが。
It was clear enough what I'd seen was something they wanted to keep hidden. The more they said, the more I got it, and it was clear none of us wanted such a thing.
この子を生かしておいても、厄介なことにしかならないと思いますけどね。
Let this kid go, please. The way he looked at me made me feel as if he'd read my mind.
とにかく殺せばいいってもんじゃねえだろう。こいつの処分は帰ってから決める。
俺は副長の判断に賛成です。ここに長く留まれば、他の者に見つかるかもしれない。
Then he looked down at the creature he'd killed, as though he'd forgotten the whole ordeal.
こうも血に狂うとは、やはり実務に使える代物ではないようです。
頭の痛え話だ。
That's a long way to say damn. Probably it's something else, but I don't know Japanese that well to indicate as to what's being said. He peered down at the corpse, his face an emotionless mask. When he looked back up at his companions, however, his eyes narrowed.
つうかお前ら、土方とか副長とか呼んでんじゃねえよ。伏せろ。
へえ、伏せるも何も、この大服を着てる時点で、バレバレだと思いますけど。
He was right. Even I had heard stories about a gang of cruel men in blue coats who cut people down in the streets, but I didn't know how to confront the dilemma of pretending I didn't see any of these horrors. My mind swirled through a pool of worries and thoughts, almost as if I was being drawn into their world. A world where there's nothing strange in carrying on a normal conversation in the dead of night with corpses for company.
死体の処理はいかように、肉体的な異常は特に現れていないようですが。
Hijikata thought for a moment before he spoke.
羽織だけ脱がせとけ。あとは観察の方で何とかする。
承知しました。
新選組の大使が切り殺されてるなんて、僕たちにとっても一大事ですしね。
He gave a derisive bark of laughter.
あとはここにいた奴が黙ってりゃ、世間も勝手に納得してくれるだろうよ。
He looked directly at me, and I got the distinct feeling his words weren't for his companions. It was common for people to be murdered in Kyoto. It was a dangerous city, after all. I knew that, of course. But to see it happen? That was something else entirely. If death was such an easy thing in Kyoto, I thought, then the city itself must surely be mad.
ねえ、ところでさ、助けてあげたのに、お礼の一つもないの？
Yeah, you did. Huh? I didn't realize right away that he was speaking to me. But when I did, my eyes went wide. What do you mean? You saved me? Well, he did have a point. Despite their threats, they saved my life. I stood up steadily as I could manage, brushed some dirt off my clothes, and bowed. Thank you very much. I apologize for not thanking you earlier. There was so much going on, I was a little confused. I glanced up at them tentatively. The man called Hajime also looked confused. His eyes were wide and he had an expression I couldn't place. Hijikata looked at me, looked as though he had taken a bite of something sour. I sighed deeply before continuing. I know it seems weird to say that, but he told me I should say thanks, so I looked up. Saito and Hijikata both stared pointedly at anything but me. The third man was shaking with laughter.
ごめん。そうだよね。僕が言ったんだもんね。
Yeah, you did, you asshole. He broke out into laughter again, so much that he was forced to wipe a few tears from his eyes as he straightened up. I'm glad to see that I'm making him feel very amused.
どういたしまして。僕は沖田総司と言います。
Soji Okita.
礼儀正しい子は嫌いじゃないよ。
That name sounds familiar too. I think he was also mentioned in Kenshin at one point, long time ago. I can't quite remember, but I think so. Thank you for helping me. Not quite sure what else to do. I bowed again.
君を助けてくれたのが斎藤はじめくん。それでこっちの偉そうなのが。
わざわざ紹介してんじゃねえよ。
副長、お気持ちはわかりますが、まず移動を。
Whatever mirth was inspired was gone. The man called Saito now spoke with quiet urgency. A man named Okita grabbed hold of my wrist, smiled, and led us down the street. His grip was a touch too tight to be friendly, his fingers like iron cables around my arm. There was no question about my situation. I quickly picked up on the notion that if I were to run, I'd be killed instantly. Well, that and Hijikata mentioned that too, didn't he? My life was in the hands of these strange men. I set my jaw and stood up as straight as I could. My eyes crept up from the blood-stained coat and met Saito's gaze.
己のために最悪を想定しておけ。さしていいようには転ばない。
This is true. This also has me worried. And considering as to past selections I've had on various visual novels before, such as The Lovely Hattori Boyfriend, and I picked poor choices and I died. I'm just worried that it's going to be a very short game. His words were like a dagger in my stomach. What was going to happen to me? Was I going to die? As we walked through the bleak Kyoto night, I felt horror crawl its way up my spine once again. The cause of my horror wasn't the gruesome end that awaited me, but something else entirely. I spoke with these men and watched them speak, standing next to a warm corpse soaked in blood. That I had done such a thing terrified me in an altogether different way. Perhaps this is what it's like to go mad. And what have we got now? Finish the prologue? Oh, I guess so. Oh, this opening. Let's see what we got here. Okay, it's not too bad. How are the, since you're watching me right now, how are the audio levels? Are they okay? Or is it too loud or too soft? What I can do is I can definitely try to adjust it accordingly. I tried to keep them a little bit low because I just didn't want it to be too overpowering. And secondly, since I've got my little earbuds in too, I didn't want to kill my ears when I was listening to all this. Okay, Hichikata, Saito, and Okita. Okay. Who else do we got? Harada, Todo. Oh, he looks young. And Yamazaki looks like somebody out of Naruto. Hondo and Ito. Okay. Oh, the bad guys, I'm going to assume. No idea who these people are. The other thing I just want to know if you're watching this, have you played this before? I'd be curious to see if you have or not, or if this is something brand new. I got this game on Steam during the Steam sale, I think it was. I didn't bother with the DLC for this because I was told that it wasn't really worth it. I think it was, they mentioned like a couple of extra minutes like for additional scenes, but it didn't really add up to much, to which my thought was, okay, it didn't really seem to be worth the price tag they were mentioning for it. Okay, so yeah, those guys are mortal enemies or something. 2017, yeah, holy crow. Yeah, I know, I'm behind the times. I'm behind the times. There we go. Let's see if I can adjust this a little bit more. January 1864, Chapter 1. Oh, that looks like Saito. So let's see what happens next. I guess I was taken off to their base. Was it morning? What happened to me? I attempted to recollect myself. Ah, yes. Right. All at once, the events of the previous night rushed back to me. This isn't my room. My limbs were snugly bound in tight knots, so all I could do was wriggle around in bed, twisting the blankets around me. I yearned for the comfort of my own futon, but the futility of such thoughts only forced me to confront the reality of my situation. If only I could wake from this strange nightmare. But I could not. Those men from the night before must have taken me with them to the headquarters of the Shinsengumi. What will happen to me now? I inhaled deeply, lying down to await my fate. It was at the moment that the door slid open and a kind-looking man stepped through. Oh, you're older too. Wonder why you... I don't think he was in the introduction, so I think he's just probably some sort of side character that doesn't do too much. Maybe? I don't know.
Ah, 目が覚めたかい?
Well, he's voiced. That's good.
すまんな、こんな扱いで。今、縄を緩めるから少し待ってくれ。
Yeah, that'd be much appreciated, sir. His smile quirked as he removed my ropes. My wrists were, however, left bound. And you are...
ああ、そうか。私はね、井上源三郎というんだ。
Genzaburo Inoue. Thank you, Inoue.
さて、ちょっと来てくれるかい?
Am I going to be let off to death now?
今朝から幹部連中で、
あ
んたについて話し合っているんだが。
Oh, I get to plead my case. Okay, this is good. This is good.
ゆうべ、あんたが何を見たのか、確かめておきたいってことになってね。
Okay. I nodded curtly and struggled to stand, but my body was sore from being bound up all night. Inoue treated me with something like courtesy, but it was clear that I was in a lesser position. He must have been able to guess my thoughts, however, because he smiled at me and winked.
心配しなくても大丈夫さ。なりは怖いが、気のいい者たちばかりだよ。
Okay. Oh. Even at home, I heard rumors of the vicious Shinsengumi that were unflattering. It was hard to imagine that people in charge of such an organization were gentlemen.
一番年の若い東堂くんは君よりちょっと年上くらいだよ。それに長倉くんと原田くんという賑やかな二人組もいるから大丈夫。
Despite Inoue's reassurances, it was difficult for me to trust what I was hearing as accurate. Excuse me. Inoue led me to a room and opened the door. I stepped inside and found myself surrounded by the leaders of the Shinsengumi. Their eyes dug into me like sharp knives, and I stared before me, then gulped nervously.
おはよう。
Oh,
昨日はよく眠れた。
Well, it wasn't particularly comfortable.
ふん、そうなんだ。
Yeah, because I was tied up all night.
さっき僕が声をかけた時には、君、全然起きてくれなかったよね。
You did what? Okay, my mind went into a dark place, I must admit, but still, holy crap, what did you do?
幸せそうな寝顔で、ぐっすりだったみたいだけど。
Sir? Don't touch me. What? Yeah, exactly, that's my reaction too.
からかわれているだけだ。掃除はあんたの部屋になど行ってない。
Okay. Quite silent, I stared at Okita. With his grin still spread along his face, he glanced over at Saito.
もう少しこの子の反応を見たかったんだけどな。はじめくんもひどいよね。勝手にバラすなんてさ。
Thank you, Hajime, for telling me the truth. And this guy is quite a joker. I don't think Saito did anything wrong. You, on the other hand.
おいてめえら、無駄口ばっか叩いてんじゃねえ。
Okay, you are very grumpy this morning. Very, very grumpy. Ichikata's voice brooked no further insubordination. Okita shrugged and fell silent, but the smile lingered through his bright eyes.
でさ、土方さん、そいつが目撃者。
Oh, new voice. New voice, who's this? Oh! The man who spoke was, well, he looked more like a boy than a man. And maybe this is the youthful Shinsengumi captain that Inoue was describing to me. I imagine leaders of the Shinsengumi to be older, maybe even middle-aged men, but their faces were still blessed with youth. In fact, one might even confuse them at first glance for a gang of bohemian thugs.
ちっちゃいし細っこいな。まだガキだろこいつ。
He... Oh! They think I'm a guy. I'm still probably wearing the boys' clothes. The men's clothes. So they think I'm a guy and not a girl. Right? Well, that would stick because whoever's talking now is saying he's a real stick, huh? Just a kid. So they think I'm a guy because of my getup. They don't know I'm a girl yet. Now here's a question. Would that even matter? Probably not to these guys because if they'd probably kill like whether it be a guy or a girl anyway. I don't know if they're gonna be that gentleman-like, but I guess we'll find out.
お前がガキとか言うなよ、平介。
だな。世間様から見りゃ、平介もこいつも似たようなもんだろうよ。
ガキ扱いしていいのは、俺みたいな立派な大人になってからだぜ。
Okay, so I'm guessing that voice belongs to the gentleman that's got the green bandana. And the other voice belongs to the redhead.
立派な大人って。
Yeah.
まあ、新八が言っても説得
Yeah, I
力
think
も
that
何
belongs
も
to
ね
the
えがな。
redhead. So Shinpachi, Harada, and oh gosh, I forgot the other gentleman's name. Two nearby men replied to Toto with with very mocking but light-hearted tones. I somewhat recalled Inoue's description of the two energetic members. His mention of them was brief, but seeing them in person was an eye-opening experience. He said the short-haired one was Nagakura, and the other, with longer hair, was Harada.
うるさいな。おじさん二人は黙ってなよ。
Okay.
ふざけんなよ、このお坊ちゃまが。俺らにそんな口聞いていいと思ってんのか？
平助におじさん呼ばわりされるほど年は食ってねえよ。新八はともかく、俺はな。
てめえ、裏切るのか、佐野。
へへ、新八さん図星されて怒るって大人げねえよな。
Their back and forth rapport seemed developed into a rhythm from years of friendship, which predated my arrival and made me foreign here. I sensed something apart from curiosity towards me, though, like a feeling of animosity. Despite their cheerful levity, they had not forgiven my presence among them. Suddenly, I wanted very much to go home. I wanted to leave this place and never return. My chest tightened and I stared down, hoping to wake up in a bed with all this only a memory.
口さがない方ばかりで申し訳ありません。あまり怖がらないでくださいね。
Well, you're rather polite, and I'm guessing because you wear the glasses and everything else, you're very bookish or well-read. Oh. His voice was calm and warm, and I felt myself relax, even if only a little bit.
何言ってんだ。一番怖いのはあんただろ、三男さん。
Okay, I misread. After he finished speaking, the rest of the men nodded solemnly in agreement. I wondered, who could possibly command such fear and respect from these men?
おや、心外ですね。皆さんはともかく、鬼の副長まで何をおっしゃるんです？
Things I've learned so far. Don't judge a book by its cover, especially in these games. Because he's looking rather devilish now.
私はいつだって新選組の規範を第一に考えているだけですよ。その規範、ご法度を決めたのは土方君、君じゃなかったですか？
確かに決めたのは俺だ。だが、今はそんなことを言ってる時じゃねえだろ。
And the man called Sanen and Hijikata stared at one another with a smirk.
トシと三男君は相変わらず仲が良いな。
And you, good sir, your hair reminds me of Phoenix Wright from Ace Attorney, just the way that his hair is done. Yeah, it definitely reminds me of Phoenix Wright. Ichikata and Sanan sounded distant when they spoke to one another, not exactly friendly. Still, the man who spoke had certainly sounded as though he thought they were friends.
ああ、自己紹介が遅れたな。俺が新選組局長、近藤勇だ。
Oh, you're the chief? You seem very laid back. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting one of the other gentlemen might have been, but I don't know. Again, guess I was wrong. Isami Kondo. When you say chief, do you mean to say that you are the most important man in the Shinsengumi?
いや、まあ、俺が偉いわけじゃない。皆の代表ということだよ。それから、そこの都市が副長で、横にいる三男君は総長を務めていて。
Oh. Okay.
いや、近藤さん。なんでいろいろ教えてやってんだよ、あんたは。
まずいのか？
情報を与える必要がないんだったら黙ってる方が得策なんじゃないですかね。
Yeah, you're spilling the beans on a lot of different stuff, which I don't think you really should at this point. I'm not sworn to you. I'm just an outsider, and here you are, you're telling me all this information, which I could probably put to good use.
わざわざ教えてやる義理はないと思うけど。
確かにそうなんだが、紹介しないことには話が進まんだろう。
Well, yes, it's rude to ignore your guests, but you also don't give them all the information about your organization, who you are, etc. at the drop of a hat. Yeah, I could say your name potentially, but it doesn't necessarily have to indicate your rank. Maybe? Harada glanced over at Kondo and let out a bark of laughter.
ま、ここまで来たら知られて困ることもねえけどな。
Well, if they consider me a kid, I don't think they would be really concerned that I was going to be that much trouble. Kondo had looked rather disappointed when Hijikata spoke, but he perked up at Harada's words. Despite knowing him for 5 minutes, it's easy to see that his words resonated well with his men. He had a sort of charisma that simply drew you in. A man who was impossible to hate.
さて、本題に入ろう。まずは改めて昨晩の話を聞かせてくれるか。
The short version or the really long gruesome version? That'd be my question.
はい。
Oh,
昨晩、京の都を夜間巡察中、不老の老師と遭遇。相手が刀を抜いたため、切り合いとなりました。一部の大使らが老師を無力化しましたが、その折彼らが失敗した様子をこの者に目撃されています。
As he finished, Saito turned to look at me. I didn't see anything. Well, that's an outright lie. I did see. Well, is that a lie or no? I heard things, but did I physically see? Well, yeah, I sort of saw it too. So, me saying I didn't see anything is not very truthful. Even with my insistence, Hijikata continued to stare at me with a harsh glance. Saito remained expressionless, and the smile on Okita's face didn't change.
なあ、お前本当に何も見てないのか?
Yes, I didn't see anything.
見てないんならいいんだけどさ。
あれ、掃除の話じゃ、お前が大使どもを助けてくれたって話だったが。
No, that's not true. I glanced over at Okita, but his smile remained. Whatever he was thinking was a mystery to me. I was running away from the Ronin. Then some people with the Shinsengumi uniforms appeared. Really, they sort of rescued me. Oh, and I just spoke the truth anyway.
つまり、大使どもが老師を切り殺してる場面はしっかり見たってわけだ。
Yeah, so why? Honestly, I'm trying to figure out as to why I would have lied about that. It would have been better off just to speak the truth because they probably would have found some sort of way to make me admit what I saw. I couldn't exactly deny that. However, I knew that choosing to stay silent would implicate me deeper than lying would.
つまり、最初から最後まで、一部始終を見てたってことか。
Yeah.
お前、根が素直なんだろうな。それ自体は悪いことじゃないんだろうが。
I wasn't sure what to make of Harada's words. My presence seemed bad for the Shinsengumi. Would their next words be one condemning me to death for being at the wrong place and time? My voice shook, but I knew I had to try. I won't tell anyone. I promise.
偶然老師に絡まれていたという君が私たちに敵対するものとまでは言いませんが、君に言うつもりがなくとも相手の誘導尋問に乗せられる可能性はある。
No, there's no way I could. Definitely. No. His voice was still warm, but his words were cold, and I began to feel my chances of life slipping away.
話さないというのは簡単だが、この者が新選組に義理立てする理由もない。
That's true.
約束を破らない保証なんてないですし、やっぱり解放するのは難しいですよね。ほら、殺しちゃいましょうよ。口封じするならそれが一番じゃないですか。
Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. I would like to play this game a little bit longer rather than just dying from the get-go. I don't think I've chosen any option that would have brought me death. But
掃除、物騒なことを言うな。お上の民をむやみに殺して何とする。
そんな顔しないでくださいよ。今のはただの冗談ですから。
That didn't sound like kidding.
あんたは冗談に聞こえる冗談を言え。
Thank you. Thank you, Saito. Thank you. After being rebuked by Saito, Okita gave me a playful smile.
しかし、なんとかならんのかね。まだこんな子供だろう。
私も何とかしてあげたいとは思いますが、うっかり漏らされでもしたら一大事です。
Again, with all this talk of him, child, etc., they still think that I'm a boy. I should honestly, since I'm in the business right now of fessing up, I may as well fess up that I'm female. And I know that may not necessarily work in my favor. I may end up being in a worse situation, but at least I'm being honest because, yeah, they just think I'm a guy. I need to let them know I'm a girl.
さて、私は副長のご意見を伺いたいのですが、いかがですか、土方。
Oops, sorry. The men looked to Hijikata, listening intently. He sighed and glanced around the room.
俺たちは昨晩、指導に背いた大使を粛清した。こいつはその現場に居合わせた。
それだけだとおっしゃりたいんですか？
So at least I think he's of the opinion right now that I shouldn't be killed. But I think Sanon's more along the lines of, hey, kill.
実際このガキの認識なんざその程度のもんだとは思うんだが。
Yeah.
けどよ、こればっかりは大義のためにも内密にしなきゃなんねえことだよな。新選組の大使は血に狂ってるなんて噂が立ちゃ、俺らのタイムにだって支障が出るぜ。
Well, yeah, that'd be definitely really problematic. Shinpachi's words made sense to everyone. Hijikata's face looked grim.
おい、言葉を慎め。俺は指導に背いた大使を粛清したと言ったはずだぞ。
でもまあ、どっちみち見たことは変わらないんですけどね。
宗司の意見にも一理あると思うが、まあ、俺は土方さんや近藤さんの決定に従う。
That's like saying you have no opinion. Because you're just saying, oh, I'll just do whatever I'm told.
俺は逃がしてやってもいいと思う。
Thank you, Hesuke. You're being so nice. Let me go, please.
こいつは別にあいつらが血に狂った理由を知っちまったわけでもないんだしさ。
Wait, everything? What else is there? What do you mean, everything? Exactly. What do you mean, everything? I couldn't help but wonder aloud, and the mood in the room shifted to an icy silence.
スキ、余計な情報をくれてやるな。
悪い。
I think I'm hearing stuff I really shouldn't be hearing right now, and can I be excused? I don't want to be here and listening to things that I shouldn't, which will probably get me put me more in the likelihood of being killed.
ああ、これでますます 君の無罪放免が難しくなっちゃったね。
That's what I feared.
男子たるもの死ぬ覚悟くらいできてんだろ。お前も諦めて腹くくっちまいな。
A man? Finally, we're bringing up this topic. Oh, that's right. They still believe me to be a boy. I'm surprised that we haven't tried to bring this up as of yet. Like, we've heard the words that they've been using already, thinking, oh, a guy, him, etc. That I would be thinking to myself, hey, I should let them know that I'm a girl, not a guy. But with everything else that happened, I'd completely forgotten how I was dressed.
確かに潔く死ぬのも男の道だな。俺も若い頃は切腹したし。
But you're still here. Failed suicide, I suppose.
サノの場合、まだ生きてるけどな。
Yeah. Their jokes were barbaric, but they both broke into raucous laughter.
副長、結論も出ないことですし、一旦このものを部屋に戻してはどうでしょうか。
Yeah, can you please get me out of this room? It's not good for my health.
同席させた状態で誰かが機密を漏らせば、
Bingo, get me out of here. I don't want to be here any longer.
殺すほかなくなります。
He was right. If I remained with them, I could easily hear something I wasn't supposed to. I didn't think he mentioned it for my sake, rather a possible concern for the group. I was so relieved when he brought it up.
そういうことにするか。ちょっと調べたいこともあるしな。
Yay, I get to be saved for a little while longer.
私もその判断には賛成しますよ。ここには迂闊な方も多いですしね。
Yeah, I'm surprised that some of their commanders have like brought up stuff that I really should be hearing and brought it up so easily. It just shocks me a little.
三男さん、わざわざこっち見て言うとかきついよ。
まあ仕方ねえよ。迂闊なのは俺らの担当だろう。主に平助とかな。
そんな責めるなよ。俺だって悪気はなかったんだからさ。
He's very loud, rambunctious, but considering he's younger than the others, I'm sort of not surprised. I could hear Toto's voice rise as everyone turned to look at him. He looked at them for a bit, then turned to me and mumbled in a voice I could barely hear.
あのさ、悪かったな。
Why, thank you. I was still apprehensive as to what they might do to me, so I couldn't quite respond to him well. But he seemed to understand, and I curtly managed to nod. It was the most I could manage.
それじゃあ斉藤、こいつを頼む。
承知しました。行くぞ。
All right. Haven't died yet. Good thing. This is a good thing. After returning to my room, I spent some time reflecting upon my state and my still bound hands. The rumors spoke of the Shinsengumi as vicious men, but they seemed more intimate, human to me. Still, their presence or their being lingered through to me as if to say, we are not killers, but to protect our code, we must bring death. Remaining here is the only bringing me closer to the possibility of them killing me. I don't know if I can convince them to spare me. Just I have no loyalty to them. They have no loyalty to me, only the Shinsengumi. But then, they mention a man must always be ready to face death. So, are they still mistaking me for a man? Could I possibly risk exposing my true identity in exchange for mercy on my life? But this could just easily backfire on me. And it could exact an even worse fate. I was truly at a loss for what to do. I could either find a way to escape or attempt to explain my situation. With the attempt to explain my situation, I'm of two minds with that, because I could say, yeah, I'm a girl, and hopefully they will take that into account and, you know, not kill me. But there's nothing to say that they won't, because heck, I don't know if the Shinsengumi only, if they thought that I was a true threat to to them and to their code and everything else. He may just say, to heck with it, even though she's a civilian, she's a girl, we'll just offer anyway. I could try to find a way to escape, but I'd have to be really, really good, because I'm sure they could probably slaughter me anyway. I'm going to try to find a way to escape. With nothing for it, I had to try and escape. Meaning, I need to get moving immediately. Staying in this room did nothing to help me. Fortunately, they hadn't bothered to tie me up completely again, only my hands were bound. That would slow me down, certainly, but so long as I could move my legs, I stood a chance. Alright, now, the exit is... I cast my memory back when they brought me into the building the night before. Right. I'm sure it'll work out. I stood up. Holding my breath, I edged towards the door. I knew it was rude, but I had no choice but to try and open the sliding door with my toe. But I was almost there when suddenly it flew open all on its own, revealing...
No!
Ah! Phoenix Fright! What are you doing here? Go back to the games. Ah! I stumbled straight into Kondo. Oh, and Sana too.
大胆な方ですね。
Damn it.
まさか逃げるつもりだったんですか?
Yeah, it's not good for me to be here. Let me go, please.
勝手に動いては困りますね。君の身が余計に危うくなるだけですよ。
Tell me, did I make a bad decision here? What are your thoughts? His voice was calm and not unfriendly, but his eyes were frigid and calculating. Too late, I realized why they hadn't bothered to tie me up again. They had been watching me.
逃げれば切る。ゆうべ、俺は確かにそう言ったはずだ。
And the Joker too? Damn it. So I've got two of the higher people that are in the same... Well, actually three of the higher people in here. Plus Okita. I can say with certainty I'm regretting my life choices. I am.
残念だけど、殺しちゃうしかないかな。約束を破るこの言葉なんて信用できないからね。
Okita smiled. He didn't look very sorry. I can stay where I am or run for it. I'm gonna stay where I was because maybe I can try to explain it to them and say it's what's going on. Ran for it, I'll probably end up dying. I'm gonna stay. You won't give me a chance to explain myself. I was innocent, but complaining wasn't going to help me. Perhaps it'd be best if I simply accepted my death. Then you may do whatever you like with me. Okita roared with laughter, his shoulders shaking. The anger in my voice proved unaffecting to them. Damn it!
君、面白いね。
No, no,
でも、
no.
ちょっといじめすぎちゃったかな。
I think I've started Okita's shirt. Damn it. No, no, no. I don't want to be your girlfriend. I don't want to be your waifu.
もう少し肩の力抜いてよ。 取って食べたりしないからさ。
I don't trust anything you say, sir, because you're such a jokester. Ah, darn it. Oh boy. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Oops, I think I
君
missed
みた
a
い
line.
に潔い女の子、初めて見たよ。
Huh? A girl. You knew I was a girl?
そうじゃはこの少年が女子だというのか。
Why didn't they say something earlier that they knew I was a girl?
近藤さん、落ち着いてくれ。
Again, why did they say something earlier?
気づいてるやつは気づいてたみたいだが、あんたはまず分かってねえと思ってた。
Wow, you have not much hope with your commander to think that he would figure it out, but everybody else would know. But the fact that he didn't figure it out is rather... Eh?
もしかして三男君も気づいていたのか。
Of course he did.
ええ、一生懸命に男装を試みてますが、どこから見ても女の子です。
さあ、お兄さんたちに話してごらん。女の子が男装してまで夜の京を歩いていた理由。
Uh-huh. Okita. Sanin shrugged and let out a loud sigh.
もう一度皆を集めましょうか。意見を変えるものが出るかもしれませんからね。
That's true. There I was, surrounded once again by the leaders of the Shinsengumi.
少年にしては華奢で可愛らしい顔をしていると思っていたんだが。
Oh, come on, you're just trying to make yourself not feel so bad. You just don't want to admit that you couldn't see it, but everybody else could. Kondo was nodding his head repeatedly, as if he were agreeing with a very intelligent suggestion. For him to notice the softness of my features, it flattered me a bit.
ああ、女だって聞いてから見ると女にしか見えなくなってくるんだよな。
しかし女の子を一晩縄で縛ってお
Yeah,
くと
now you feel bad,
は
don't
悪
you?
いことをしたね。
That was rather rude. You kept me like that all night. That's rather bad.
でもよ、女だ女だって言うが別に証拠はないんだろ。
Proof? I say that I'm a girl and everything. What kind of proof are you looking for? Proof?
証拠も何も一目瞭然だろうが。なんなら脱がせてみるか。
What? Oh, no, 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 no. We are not going down this route. Thank you very much. We're not going to be doing that to poor little Chiziru.
許さん許さんぞ。衆目の中、
Thank you.
女子に肌をさらさせるなど言語道断。
Exactly. Thank you. My gosh. What the heck is the world coming to?
だがまあ、それが一番手っ取り早いと思ったんだ。無理にとは言わないがな。
でもよ、本当に女だって言うなら、
Yes, you shouldn't kill me.
忍びねえよな。
Not because I'm a girl, but you just shouldn't kill me in general. Thank you.
何甘いこと言ってるんだ。男だろうが女だろうが、性別の違いは生かす理由にならねえだろう。
And I'm not getting warm and fuzzy from you.
もっともです。ですが、女性に限らず、そもそも人を殺すのは忍びないことですよ。
Yes, killing is wrong. Please don't kill me.
今日の治安を守るために組織された私たちが無益な殺生をするわけにはいきません。
結局女の子だろうが男の子だろうが今日の平安を乱しかねないなら 話は別ですよね。
Horse of a different color. I have not heard that phrase in, oh gosh, really long time. I think the last time I heard that phrase used was, oh wow. Why am I thinking Wizard of Oz? Like the movie with Judy Garland and with everybody else, and when they were going to Oz and they talked about a horse of a different color. Forgive me, I'm rambling. The Shinsengumi had already suffered a great gruesome reputation in Kyoto. If rumor spread that their men were thirsty for blood, things were unlikely to go well for them. Kyoto would banish them, and with no one to protect the people, the city would erupt into chaos. Each of their members deeply understood the consequences of behaving rashly in these times.
悪いが、お前の荷物を改めさせてもらったぜ。どうやら江戸からここまで一人で来たみてえだな。
Yep.
荷物はわずかな着替えと一月分の小銭、それと通通の手紙と小立。手紙には幕府御殿医の松本良順の名前があった。
Snooping is wrong,
おそらく
sir.
そこを訪ねたんだろう。
No, haven't run into him yet.
お前の目的は何だ？
There we go. And because again, they're not indicating the main character's name, we don't get to have that that really emphasis on dun 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 sort of idea. But the music stopped. I guess that's supposed to be the emphasis. The minute my name was spoken, the vibe in the room shifted immensely. Everyone wore a stunned expression, eyes wide, and no words were uttered in response until...
土方さん、その名前は?
So, you know my family name. Why?
おいおい、偶然にしちゃできすぎだぜ。
まあ待て。それを判断するためにも、まずは君の話を聞かせてくれるかな?
Okay, so again, why is my family name of such concern to you? At Kondo's behest, I stood up to speak. My name is Chiziru Yukimura. Under the watchful eyes of the leaders, I sharply described how I came to face them, how I lived in Edo, how I had come to Kyoto to find my father, how lonely the city felt before I arrived.
そうか。出身も江戸だったのだな。父上を探して遠路はるばる京に来たのか。
I'm surprised I made it to Kyoto by myself.
して、お父上は何という方かね。
My father is Kondo Yukimura.
つながったな。
So they know my dad. What are you talking about?
あなたが持っていた手紙の筆跡。これはまさに光道さんのものでしたが、まさか本当に光道さんのご息女とはね。
Yeah, you know my dad's doctor. Did he help you guys or something? You know my father? The silence was enough to tell me that the revelation of my parentage caused a pronounced change in their behavior.
どこまで知ってる?
Not really, you never really asked. Huh? Oh, what information are you talking about?
いいから洗いざらい全部吐け! 何しに今日に来やがった?
Okay, why are you now angry and yelling at me? I just came to look for my father. I swear I don't know anything else.
親父の光道さんが何をしてるか知っててここに来たんだろうが!
No. I was only aware of my father being in Kyoto for his medical work, but I haven't seen him since last summer. That's all I know.
土方君、どうやら本当に何も知らないのかもしれません。
Okay, so what's going on with your old dad? So what do you know about my father? Where is he right now? Please tell me.
光道さんの行方は現在新選組でも探している。
Okay. You're after my father? So that means...
あ、 勘違いしないでね。僕たちは
they're
コード
looking
さんを
for
狙
him.
って
They're
るわけ
not
じゃない
like
から。
hunting him. But why? I see. A huge wave of relief came over me.
同じ幕府側の協力者なんだけど、実は彼、夏から行方知れずなんだよね。
He disappeared?
幕府をよく思わない者たちがコードさんに目をつけた可能性が高い。
Oh, jeez. Okay. I let out an audible gasp. Saito continued without paying me any mind.
生きている降参も高い。乱方医は利用価値があ
Oh
るそう。
gosh, I hope dear old dad is okay. I'd be worried if he's not. I wasn't quite sure what else to do, so I nodded. My heart pounded in my chest, threatening to burst onto the floor.
近藤さん、どうでしょうか。同じ人物を探す者同
Oh,
士、
yeah!
彼
Can you
女
help me
に
look for
手
dear
を
old
貸し
dad?
てあげてはいかがかと。
It's funny that now I'm playing 2 games that revolve about me looking for a dad. This one here, he's a doctor, and then looking for best dad in Trails in the Sky. Hashtag looking for dad channel.
手を貸すとはどういうことかね。
コードさんが見つかるまで
Yeah,
互い
let's
に
work
協
together
力
to
し合うと
find
い
him
うことで
because
す。
if they're looking for him for some reason, I wish I knew what, and I'm looking for him, more people looking for him is probably helpful, right?
彼女に協力してもらうことでコードさんが見つかる可能性は格段に上昇するでしょう。
Absolutely. Huh?
私たちがいくら探しても姿形を変えられてしまっては見抜くことは難しい。
But why would he be in disguise? Unless he's hiding himself for some reason. But even if he is in disguise, I should be able to find out, to know as to if it's him or not.
ですがコードさんの娘である君ならば身なりが変わっていようと看破できますね。
Yep. Yes, of course. I nodded as I spoke while giving him what I hoped seemed like a steady, reassuring smile.
それに彼女が手中にあるというのは何かと都合がいいと思います。
How can I help?
どうだとし
Again, what are you thinking
三
of
男
that
君
can
の
be
意
a
見
lot of
に俺
help?
は賛成だな。
Maybe because I'm a doctor's daughter, I know a little bit more about medicine and helping that way?
こいつが本当に何も知らねえって言うんなら。
It's true. All I know is that my father headed to Kyoto, but I don't know anything else. And about last night, I didn't see anything.
まあ、あの乱暴医の娘となりゃ殺しちまうわけにもいかねえか。
Safe for now. His eyes narrowed as he looked down at me.
昨夜の件は忘れるって言うんなら、父親が見つかるまでお前を保護してやる。
I like being alive. I will do, as you say.
君の父上を見つけるためならば、我ら新選組は協力は惜しまんとも。
Okay. Thank you so much. I never imagined something like this. I was elated to escape death, but not only that I survived, I found my first decent lead.
殺されずに済んでよかったね。とりあえず
Yeah,
は
I'm
だ
grateful
けど
that I'm not going to be dying anytime soon, but I'm sort of frustrated that I'm on your route. I think. He gave me that same wolfish grin. There was no denying that my situation was still less than desirable, but it didn't matter for now. Yes, I'm very glad. Against all odds at last, I'd found help where I never have expected it, the Shinsengumi. My first day in Kyoto was quite the adventure. In spite of everything I'd seen, my fortune was improving with every step. I still had a long way to go, but keeping positive was my only hope.
雪村君、 よかったね。これからはよろしく頼むよ。
Yes, thank you. It's a pleasure for me as well.
なあ、ゲンさん。女子となれば、ここのような男女体では申し訳ない気がするんだが。
ええ、そうですね。これはちょっと困りましたな。
Where am I going to stay? Can I stay in the same room I was before, or was that somebody's room? Kondo crossed his arms and thought deeply.
不便があれば言うといい。その都度可能な範囲で対処しよう。
I do appreciate that. I really do. Just give me a minute here. There it is. Water is wonderful. Water is really wonderful. Thank you.
まあ、女の子となりゃ、手厚くもてなさんといかんよな。
Well, yes, I hope so.
新八さん、女の子に弱いもんな。でもだからって手のひら返すの早すぎ。
いいじゃねえか。これで豚書が華やかになると思えば、新八に限らずはしゃぎたくもなるだろう。
Hopefully in okay ways and not in not so great ways. What? Toto? What is that look you're giving me? Really? I wasn't entirely sure I believe that sentiment.
とはいえ、ここでは女性として扱うのは難しそうです。
They're probably not. It's for the order of Shinsengumi. They're all men, so I don't think there'd be anything here appropriate for a lady.
大使として扱うのもまた問題ですし、彼女の処遇は少し考えなければなりませんね。
なら誰かの交渉にすりゃいいだろう。
Page.
近藤さんとか三男さんとか。
Oh, an assistant. Okay. Oh, yeah, I can do that sort of thing.
やだな、土方さん。そういう時は言い出しっぺが責任取らなくちゃ。
So I'm gonna be Hijikata's assistant?
ああ、そうだな。
Yeah.
都市のそばなら安心だ。
Okay.
そういうことで土方くん、彼女のことよろしくお願いしますね。
てめえら勝手に決めてるんじゃねえ。
Oh gosh, oh gosh. As I watched their back and forth, some of my earlier belief began to ebb away. And this is how the Shinsengumi had come to look after me. Chapter 2? I'm guessing? No. February 1864, so we're still in Chapter 1. But another month. Mid-February 1864. I slid the door open and met a breath of cool morning air. Clumps of thick clouds trundled silently over the city, an unusual strong wind driving them along. It's cold out today. I shivered a bit and grabbed a jacket from near the door to wrap around myself. A week had passed since I began living in the headquarters of the Shinsengumi. I was given a room of my own, and they made it clear that I wasn't to roam freely. They weren't the best accommodations, but given how close I was to being murdered by them, instead, I thought it best not to complain. Yeah, it's probably best that I don't really say much, because at least I'm alive. Still, do I really need to dress like this all the time? I sighed, staring at my feet on the cold floor. They'd given me temporary accommodations, but it wasn't without its strict conditions.
お前の身柄は新選組預かりとする。が、女として豚書へ置くわけにはいかね
え。Oh. Okay, so I'm still needing to dress up like a guy?
新選組にかくまわれている女がいる。
Yeah, that'd be problematic.
そんな話が万一にも広まれば、よくねえ勘繰りをする奴も出てくる。それに、 噂を聞いて行動さんを狙っている奴らが、お前まで狙い出すかもしれね
え。Yeah.
もちろん、行動さんが狙われていると確定したわけじゃねえがな。こういう不確定要素が多い現状で、迂闊な行動は取れねえってことだ。
Understood.
だから、お前には断層を続けてもらう。面倒だろうが、それでいい。
But will I really be able to fool anybody? Like, honestly, I was able to trick the Shinsengumi sort of. Well, Kondo was confused, but everybody else sort of got the hint that I was a girl versus a guy. So how many other people would be that observant? I just don't know how long this is going to work. Clear. His reasoning was sound. Perhaps more than that, I knew he was concerned not only for the Shinsengumi, but also for the safety of my father and myself. I didn't have a choice regardless, but keeping this in mind made his orders more palatable.
それに、たとえ君にその気がなくとも、女性の存在は体内の風紀を乱しかねない。
Oh, that's true too. Yeah. That could be problematic.
ですから私たち幹部のほか、大使たちへも君の事情は話しません。
So only the captains, the colonel, and the commander, and yeah, and the chief. Okay. So nobody else is to know. Okay. We'll manage somehow.
情報はそれこそどこから広まるかわかりませんからね。
Okay. I understand the situation, so what shall I do while I'm here?
豚書じゃ何もしなくていい。部屋を一つやるから引きこもってろ。
So I'm just gonna stay in this room the entire time. I'm not gonna be able to do anything?
あれ？おかしいな。この子、誰かさんの故障になるんじゃなかったですか？
He's really gonna push that in there. He really is.
いいか、掃除。てめえは余計な口出しせずに黙ってろ。
Okay, very blunt as well. Before long, I'd been there for a week. I guess I don't have much of a choice. No sense in dwelling on what I can't do, after all. Although it was still a new sensation, I'd grown comfortable in dressing like a boy, particularly in the feeling of wearing pants. I straightened up and touched the kodachi that Hijikata had given back to me. This was a family friend of mine, the blade by my hip stretching back to as far as I can recall. According to my father, this was an important heirloom passed down through the Yukimura clan. As such, I was forced to take lessons in swordplay, making me well aware of what the blade was capable of. I never cared much for weapons. Weapons hurt people, which is an obvious factor, but it was more than that, at least for me. For as far back as I can remember, any wounds I suffered healed at an incredible rate. Small cuts would disappear overnight. Are you a mutant or something? That sounds odd. As a child, I thought nothing of it. But as I grew older, I began to realize that I was, not quite normal. My father insisted it was a gift of the gods, and that I should tell no one of it. I didn't tell anyone, of course. I was afraid that they would treat me like a monster if they knew. Yeah, she'd be in really big trouble if that were the case. Ever since then, I'd done my best not to get hurt. I stayed as far away from blades as I could, and before I realized it, I developed a fear of them. My constant need for disguise was frustrating, but my condition left me more unsettled. Still, that wasn't the only thing on my mind. The rank-and-file soldiers treated me coldly. I'm not just imagining it, right? I learned that having a private room was a privilege, even for captains. For a child to arrive and receive better treatment than their own captains. No surprise, really, for the soldiers to hate me. True, I suppose I can't really blame them. I was enjoying the Shinsengumi's hospitality, and so I felt I should help them in some way, but I knew nothing of soldiers and their ways. I gave as much effort as possible, despite Hijikata's commands for me to remain in my room. How does one calm the lonely, restless mind? I think for the soldiers, when the captains or other officers would look out for me, it appeared as if they were giving me special treatment. They're just watching me. To make sure I kept my mouth shut, they took turns keeping watch over me. Any mistake on my part would cause huge trouble, so they're making an effort to keep me contained. Even if I could speak with the soldiers, what conversations would we share? Nothing? My only respite from any possibility of detection would be stay alone. Again. All I wanted from this, though, was to find my father. Even though they promised to help me, keeping me locked here without the ability to leave was no better than being tied up. Just as when I felt like I made some progress in my journey, my search was kept to a halt. Perhaps I thought I could talk to Hijikata, if he would give me permission to look for my father. Oh, no, that's right. Hijikata had just recently departed to Osaka. Well, if Hijikata's not here, I wasn't sure what to do. I could stay put, talk to someone, or search the compound. Personally, I want to get out more and about. So let's search the compound. As I thought about it, I realized I had no idea how the Shinsengumi compound was laid out. If I were to live here, I thought, I ought to make an effort to learn. I took a deep breath, gathered my courage, and stepped out of the room. There's no one here. I looked around. The hall was utterly empty. Then again, since I'd snuck out of my room, it was probably for the best that no one had seen me. Still, I felt a little guilty about it. Perhaps if I just stayed in my room. If I wandered around the compound, it was likely I'd see something I wasn't supposed to. I'd already stumbled upon one of the Shinsengumi secrets the night I met them. I had no wish to do so again. Maybe I should reconsider. After some deliberation, I decided it was best to return to my room, but as I turned to walk back... From near the entrance, I heard something. Slowly, I peeked around the corner. Walking towards the door, looking as if they would prefer not to be seen, were Harada and Nagakura. Oh! Hi guys! What's up? Can I come with you? Maybe if they let me go outside, I can finally start looking for my father.
そりゃ別に構わねえが、お前は楽しくないんじゃねえかな。
Oh?
連れて行けるかバカ！勝手に許可してんじゃねえよ。
ああ、外出禁止なんだっけな、お前。それより、見張りなしで部屋から出てていいのか？
Yeah, about that. You didn't see me either, okay? I didn't see you. You didn't see me. We're all good, right? Well, where are you going anyway?
おいおい、ごまかすなよ。まあ、いいけどな。俺らはこれから島原に行くと。
Shimabara. What's Shimabara? Shimabara? The name was familiar. Wait, isn't that in the red light district? Oh gosh! Oh my, okay. Yeah, you're right. I don't really want to go with you. That would be bad. Nakagura shook his head between us and sighed.
女の子に向かって島原に行くとか、わざわざ本当のこと言うなよ。
嘘つけねえんだよ、俺。知ってんだろ。考えに繰り出すくらい別にやましくもねえし。
Let me guess, you're going out drinking during the day? And meeting up with some girls?
お前は酒が目当てだろうから、後ろめたくもなんともねえだろうよ。
So yeah, somebody's looking to get some action. Somebody wants to speak to get drunk. Okay. Nakagura, are you going for something other than alcohol?
いや、酒っていうか、なんていうか、ほら、お酒っていうだろ。
Yeah, you're looking for a girl. True, there is likely no shortage of beautiful women throughout Shimabara. Someone like Harada, who visited just for the drinks, was a rarity if I were to guess. But you're going in the afternoon.
真っ昼間から酒飲むのも男のロマンってやつなんじゃねえの?
Harada held a natural charm that seemed to shrug off any judgment over possible impropriety. Well, even so, I hardly think it's good to be drinking in the afternoon. Even if it was every man's dream, it didn't feel right to condone it. Two captains drinking during the afternoon would hardly help the Shinsengumi's low public opinion. Then again, perhaps it was my business to think about the Shinsengumi's public reputation.
よ、昼から遊び歩くのはあんまり常識的じゃないってお前の言うこともわかるんだけどよ。
Yes.
近頃の今日は何かと物騒なんだ。俺たち新選組だってうかつに夜遊びできねえ。
Oh, you have to do rounds and stuff like that at night? True.
だから常識に縛られず行きたい時に行く。真っ昼間から遊びに行くことを迷わねえ。
That really didn't seem right. But even so, on some level, his absurd logic made some sense. After all, everyone needs to relax from time to time, especially if they have the worries of the Shinsengumi. And if they worked at night, then when else would they go but the afternoon? I was reflecting upon this when Toto walked in.
あれ？まさかお前も行くの？
No. Well, I still haven't received permission to leave this house. I don't want Hichikata to get mad at me.
そっか。そいつは残念だな。
You look like you're gonna be up to no good. You're going to Shimabara too then, Toto?
ああ、そうだけど。で、東堂さんとか他人行儀な呼び方やめようぜ。
Okay, so what do you want me to call you? Well, what should I call you then? Oh my gosh, she and I are on the same wavelength. This is scary.
平介でいいよ。みんなも俺のことを平介って呼ぶし、これからしばらく一緒に暮らすんだしよ。それに、そのデスマスもやめようぜ。年も近いからもっと気楽に話してくれよ。
Okay. Really? I just didn't want to be rude, Toto.
ほら、治ってないぜ。
Alright, then, Hesuke.
そうそう。んじゃ、今日から改めてよろしくな。
Okay, it's a pleasure to meet you too, Hesuke. It wasn't anything important I knew, but something about the exchange made me feel happy. Hesuke had, perhaps unknowingly, cheered me up. But you're still gonna go to Shimabara then?
それはその。
Uh-huh. Go on.
でも、島原だから女ってわけじゃねえよ。みんなで酒飲んでバカ騒ぎしたい気分なんだ。
Do you know what? There's this, we'll give you some wooden nickels and, yeah. Oh. Oh my
お前が
gosh, I
女の
believe
格好を
that
してくれるん
Really?
なら、それだけで
Really?
十分に目の保養なんだけどな。
But I have to dress as a guy. I can't dress up like a girl. I get in trouble. I've got enough stuff to, you know, deal with right now. I don't want to get any more trouble. That'd be bad. That'd be very bad. Oh boy, I'm readjusting myself. What?
あ、俺も絶対可愛いと思う。いろいろ落ち着いたら振袖とか着てみせてくれよな。
What? So I can just be eye candy for you guys? You guys, this is so sudden. It was embarrassing for them to treat me like a girl all of a sudden, as if it just occurred to them. Dress like a girl? What should I tell them? Sure, when I get the chance someday, or no, I can't. Sure, when I get the chance someday. Not sure what else to do, I nodded awkwardly, and they beamed back at me. When I get the chance someday. Sound good? Oh, jeez! Damn it.
本当か？やったぜ！
I gotta be careful with these choices. No.
約束だぞ！忘れんなよ！
I don't want to go down his path. Granted, I don't know whose path I want to go down. Damn it. I didn't need Hesuke's advice on how I should dress, considering it was something I looked forward to once I got the opportunity, so why did I feel so embarrassed? Once we settled the topic of appropriateness of my wardrobe, Nakagura shared his opinion.
そういうわけでさしてくれよ。俺らは汗水垂らして今日の治安を守ってんだぜ。
Uh-huh. That's not a very convincing excuse. Despite my reservations, I understood the truth. They were partaking in the normal activities for men. Besides, who was I to try and stop them in the first place? I certainly had no authority over them. While visiting pleasure quarters in broad daylight wasn't my thing, if their superiors took no issue, I was a guest of the Shinsengumi, and it would be rude for me to try and tell them what to do. But even so, they went out of their way to talk to me until I felt better about the situation. This showed that they were good men, with nothing to hide. Alright. I suppose the reasoning made sense to me, and part of me was just envious of them. I, too, wanted to be free of the staleness in this compound and search for my father.
土産買ってきてやる。何か食べたいものあるか？
Oh, you're gonna bring back the food? Oh. Takoyaki and inari and too many things to mention. Even though I was still turning the issue at hand in my head, the thought of food made me salivate. Alright, then. I'd like some tangerines. No! No tangerines, takoyaki, please. Maybe we can eat them together tomorrow afternoon?
そいつはいいな。わかったぜ。
Tangerines are not too bad, I guess.
土方さんから外出許可が下りたらさ、お前の好きなとこ連れてってやるから。
Alright, awesome. That sounds good. Well, thank you. But, Hesuke, you don't need to worry, alright? Even if you couldn't take me out now, it's a thought that counts. Thanks for cheering me up.
悪いな。じゃっくら出かけてくるぜ。
Just as I waved to send those three off.
おや、これからみんなで出かけるのかい？
Oh, busted. You're not going anywhere, guys. All of us nonchalantly turned our heads around to see Inoue pacing towards us.
よりによってゲンさんかよ。
Yep. You're in trouble. You can't say that you're gonna go out and see girls and go drinking now, can you?
おっと、こいつは参ったな。
They all refused to make eye contact and fell silent, so I responded to Inoue in their stead. Well, I'm not going anywhere, but, I had no idea what else to say. Were they expecting me to cover for them?
ほら、あれだよ、ゲンさん、あれ。みんなで素振りでもしようかなって。
Okay. Hesuke quickly warmed to his excuse, as did Nakagura.
そう、それだ、ヘイスケ。よく言った。今日は天気もいいし、風が暖かいからな。
This is gonna blow up in your face, I think. Yes, what they said. After hearing their excuse, Inoue reacted.
いやはや、長倉くんたちは熱心だな。
Oh.
せっかくの機会だ。 私も
That's
付
not
き
the
合わせてくれ
reaction
る
they
かい？
wanted. That's definitely not the reaction they wanted. He looked honestly happy, pleased with the dedication of his fellows.
それは
そうきたか。
Yep. Enjoy training, guys. Seeing as they were hopeless in getting themselves out of this, I decided to lend a hand. You guys are really going to train? Just then, Esuke opened his mouth.
あー、ごめん！俺もみんなと素振りしたいけど、今日は先約があるから付き合えないんだった。
Plants?
こいつに豚書の中を案内してやるって約束。そうだったよな。
It was news to me.
ああ、頼む。話を合わせてくれ。
He gave me a desperate, somber look with his eyes, like a sad puppy. I had no choice but to go along. Yeah, that's right, yeah.
ああ、そうだよな。
His eyes sparkled, and he grabbed a hold of my hand and began to walk off. Hesuke cheered me up earlier after all. Perhaps in this way, I was returning the favor.
待て、ヘイスケ。一人だけ逃げようなんざ。
Before he could even finish, Harada interrupted, a mischievous grin appearing on his face. Oh no.
俺も付き合ってやるよ。他の大使に絡まれちゃ面倒だろ。
Shinpachi is going to be left alone with Gen. Oh boy. Well, I suppose you have a point.
そうか。原田くんの言うことはもっともだね。彼女のことは二人にお任せするとして。じゃあ長倉くん、我々は中庭に行こうか。
ヘイスケのみならず、お前もかさの。
Oh no. Poor Shinpachi. Oh gosh. Oh boy.
よし、逃げぞ。
What?
進歩さんすぐ怒るからな。
Hisuke grabbed my hand and Harada pushed me from behind as soon as we were moving away from the entrance at a rapid clip.
この裏切り者！戻ってこい！
Yep, that was very loud. Nakagura's shouts were echoing, but the laughter of the two men caused their eyes to sparkle in kind. It was infectious, and I couldn't help but laugh with them, my worries gradually drifting from me. After the commotion settled, Hisuke and Harada gave me a tour around the headquarters. Nakagura, alternatively, had none such luck. I heard later that he and Inoue spent the rest of the day training, just the two of them. At the end of the day, I think he's a good man. Time stood still, shadows drifting along my wall. How long am I going to do this? Solitude was proving detrimental to any glimmer of hope. My heart felt heavier with every moment. How lonely the wistful, forlorn mind can become. I've been swept up in a frightening world that I couldn't understand and couldn't possibly control. I can't possibly figure out what's happening to Father if I'm stuck here. Only Hijikata can give me permission to leave, and he's gone. All I could do was wait. Lamenting things I couldn't change wouldn't improve my situation and would arguably make it worse. I knew I couldn't trust the men of this Shinsengumi completely. They were, after all, men who could take life in the blink of an eye. It would be just an easy thing for them to end my life. Well, at least they will have been nice to me. For now. They're nice men deep down, right?
君さ、騙されやすい性格とか言われない？
Okita. What are you doing here?
あれもしかして気づいてなかったとか？この時間帯は僕が君の監視役なんだけどな。
Hi, Soji. Did you hear everything I said? He heard me. He had definitely heard me. I wanted to scream, but before I could open my mouth, Saito stepped out from behind the door.
掃除。無駄話はそれくらいにしておけ。
Wait, were you here the whole time too?
つい先ほど来たばかりだが。
I gotta stop talking to myself, really I do. Oh, thank goodness. I'm sorry for screaming like that.
気にするな。そもそも今の独り言は聞かれて困るような内容ではないだろう。
That's true. True, I didn't see anything bad, but still. Well, I was just embarrassed to be caught talking to myself. As Saito watched me fidgeting and mumbling, his eyes pierced right through me.
夕飯の支度が済んだのだが、邪魔をしただろうか。
I don't think so. Oh, nothing. Nothing at all.
あんたと掃除の話に一区切りついたら声をかけるつもりだったんだが、放っておくと長引きそうだったからな。話の腰を折らせてもらった。
Oh? Saito shrugged shortly before we caught the sound of footsteps approaching us noisily. Oh, Heisuke! Long time no see. Heisuke shot through the door. The moment he saw us, however, his face fell.
ちょいちょい、はじめくん。何仲良くおしゃべりしてんのさ。
Sounds like somebody's jealous. But you have no reason to be.
すまない。取り込み中だった。
仕方ないな。飯の時間なんだからさ、早く行こうぜ。食うものなくなっちまうよ。
Probably not a heck of a lot. Okay. Oh, we get to eat with the guys too? They're not stuck in my room? I'm surprised.
おめえら遅えんだよ。この俺の腹の高鳴りをどうしてくれんだ。
Growling, crying stomach. I've heard of growling stomach, but I've never heard of crying stomach.
心拍さ。
Yeah, thank you.
ただ腹が鳴ってるだけだろ。困るよね、こういう単純な人。
お前らが来るまで食い始めるのを待っててやった。俺様の寛大な腹に感謝しやがれ。
シンパチ、それ寛大な心だろう。それじゃいつものように自分の飯は自分で守れよ。
And every girl for herself, right? Oh!
今日も相変わらずせこい夕飯だよな。というわけで、隣の晩ご飯突撃だい。弱肉強食の時代、俺様がいただくぜ。
Oh, jeez.
ちょっと心拍さん、なんで俺のおかずばっか狙うかな。
それは体の大きさだ。大きいやつにはそれなりに食う量が必要なんだよ。
Really?
じゃあ育ち盛りの俺はもっともっと食わないとね。
Okay, so just let those two battle it out and I'll just get whatever food I can, I guess.
毎回こんなんで済まないな。
Oh, really? I've gotten used to it.
慣れとは恐ろしいものだな。
Oh, why aren't you taking anything?
あんまりお腹いっぱいに食べるとバカになるしね。
Wait, you're not eating? Why? I'm gonna eat too much myself. But you gotta eat something.
おいおい、バカとは聞き捨て。だが、その飯はいただくぜ。
どうぞどうぞ。僕はお酒をちびちびしてればいいし。
Again, just the fact that he's not eating anything just makes me worried. He's gonna try to get some food later, or is this food not to his liking? I wonder.
んじゃ、 俺も酒にするかな。
ただご飯とか気にしないで。お腹いっぱい食べるんだよ。
Well, it's very sweet that he's looking out for me, but still. I know. I can't help but feel a little bad, though.
気にしなくてもいいが、自分の飯は自分で守れ。
Okay. Oh, man. Always eating alone made the experience of dinner with these men both an exhilarating and a frightening evening for me. It was actually fun.
最初からそうやって笑ってろ。俺らもお前を悪いようにはしないさ。
Are you sure? You are also the same guys that claim you're gonna kill me, so I don't know if I should be smiling too much. Harada, his mouth curled up into an honest smile of his own. Had it really looked so down? Perhaps they were all trying to cheer me up. I wasn't quite too sure how to feel. I was conflicted over whether or not to feel pity for myself or to appreciate the moment for what it was. The joy seemed to be winning out, however, and I caught myself smiling as Inoue entered the room.
ちょっといいかいみんな。
Yeah, we have a minute, but the music stopped, so I'm just worried. As usual, his voice was warm, but in his eyes was a level of solemnity that I've never seen before, at least during our brief acquaintance thus far. The warmth of the room slowly evaporated.
大坂にいるトシさんから手紙が届いたんだが、三男さんがタイム中に重傷を負ったらしい。
Oh, crap. What?
何があったの？
ああ。二人が訪ねる大坂の呉服屋に、老子たちが無理やり押し入ったらしい。
Okay.
駆けつけたトシさんと三男さんが、なんとか老子たちを退けたらしいが、その時に切られたそうなんだ。
Oh, jeez. Is he going to be alright?
相当の深手だと手紙に書いてあるけど、傷は左腕とのことだ。剣を握るのは難しいみたいだが、命に別状はないそうだよ。
Oh, thank goodness. I exhaled a brief sigh of relief, but the rest of the room was tense, still itching for answers.
数日中には屯所へたどり着くんじゃないかな。それじゃ、私はイサミさんと話があるから。
Oh, wait. Oh. Yeah, these guys are two-handed wielders, so if he's badly hurt in his left arm, he can only, I'm guessing his ability to wield a blade there would be gone, or drastically reduced or something, and thus his fighting prowess would be not so good. He turned as he spoke, his last words delivered over his shoulder, and was gone. It was Saito who soon broke the awkward silence.
剣が握れないほどの深手か。
Yeah.
腕の筋まで断たれているかもしれん。
Oh, that's gonna be devastating.
刀は片腕で容易に扱えるものではない。最悪三男さんは二度と真剣を震えまい。
Oh. At last, I understood.
片腕で扱えば
Yeah.
刀の威力が損なわれる。そしてつばぜり合いになれば確実に負ける。
Basically, it sounds like his life with samurai is over. Or like, so then, what would he do at that point?
薬でも何でも使ってもらうしかないですね。三男さんも納得してくれるんじゃないかな。
He'll have to take it? Take what?
掃除。めったなこと言うもんじゃねえ。
Joining the
幹部が羅刹になってどうするんだよ。
Huh? Wait, that didn't make any sense. What are the Furies?
ああ、ラセツってのは薬を飲んだら怪我も治っちまう。
What? Come from something you drink where any injuries could be cured.
平助
Oh, huh? Before I could move, Harada was on his feet and halfway across the room. I barely had time to gasp before he drove his fist into Hesuke.
てえなあ、もう。
Hesuke, are you alright?
やりすぎだぞ、佐野。悪かったな、平助。先に口を滑らせたこっちも悪かった。
大丈夫か？悪かったな。
Okay, there's something else you guys aren't telling me, so what the hell? After a moment, Harada curtly nodded to Hesuke in apology, the latter offering a quick, pained smile.
いや、今のは俺が悪かったけど、たく佐野さんはすぐ手が出るんだからな。
His punch had enough force to knock out a lesser man, but Hesuke seemed unfazed. It was never clear how different these men were.
今の話は君が聞いちゃいけないことにほんのちょっと首を突っ込んだところだ。
I understand, but I'm totally confused. What are you guys talking about?
これ以上のことは教えられねえんだ。気になるだろうけど何も聞かないでほしい。それとさっきの平助の話は忘れてくれ。
Okay, how can you forget such a thing? His voice was friendly, but his eyes gave his words a cold weight that made me feel uncomfortable.
羅刹っていうのはかわいそうな子たちのことだよ。
And to be pitied. Okito's voice was flat, emotionless. A sudden chill of melancholy entered his eyes. I couldn't bring myself to say anything more. Thankfully, Nakagura broke the awkward silence.
お前さんは何も気にしなくていいんだって。だからそんな顔するなよ。
I was only a guest in their house, not a warrior of the Shinsengumi. The truth of the Shinsengumi secrets were no business of mine, something unknown. There was little value in that sentiment, however.
忘れろ。深く踏み込めば、あんたの生き死ににも関わりかねない。
I know, but I'm curious. I'm curious and want to know, even though I really shouldn't. I bit my lip and kept silent. The wall between us was almost tangible, almost far too large an obstacle for me to defeat easily. I finished my dinner in sad silence, excused myself, and returned to my room. I had a great deal to think about. Furies, huh? I wondered to myself if the Furies referred to the Rakshasa pictured in Buddhist texts. Though I wasn't well versed, I recalled reading a text about a man-eating demon god with that name. I have no idea where to start, from drinking the medicine to Captain becoming a Fury. No, I wasn't supposed to think about those things. I was only going to get myself in trouble if I stuck my nose where it didn't belong. Seeing or hearing the wrong thing could kill me. If I die, I'll have a hard time looking for my father. The Shinsengumi captains are keeping themselves hush around me, especially about the Furies. Are they doing it to protect me? Even if I dug around, I'm sure nothing good would come of it. With that in mind, I did my best to clear my head on the evening's events and slipped into my futon. And what's going to happen now? March 1864. Ooh, it's springtime, yay! March 1864. It fast approached a month since I began living within the Shinsengumi headquarters. Hijikata and Senna finally returned to the compound from their trip in Osaka, but spirits were low. Sanon's injury had unforeseen consequences for everyone in the organization. Day-to-day operations had become hectic for a little while. His wounds seemed quite dire, and they drained whatever goodness in his nature he'd hoped to keep. Sanon would spend days holed up in his room, protected by a barrier of impenetrable silence. If he were to leave his room, a rare occasion now, he was often short-tempered and quickly retreated. Even though I, too, spent days in the exile of my room, he seemed to take it much differently. Sanon seemed trapped within a painful memory, each day bringing him closer to a gloomy twilight. I softly pondered what service I could offer to the Shinsengumi if I were not allowed to search for my father. I'm sure Hijikata is overwhelmed with whatever business he's dealing with, but I need to visit him. I realize, with the tension so high, that it's better to have Hijikata on my side rather than not. I crept around the hall looking for Hijikata, but he was nowhere to be seen. Would it be impolite to visit his room directly? Yeah, that's probably a bad idea. As I paced around the hall in contemplation, an unknown warrior appeared before me. Oh, who are you? You've got long, purplish, brownish hair. I've been living in the Yagi residence for a month, but he was unfamiliar to me. My current dilemma compelled me to approach him. Excuse me, have you seen Hijikata? The man turned to respond, and his eyes widened to scan his enormous frame before he spoke.
お前はどこの誰だ? なぜここにいる?
Oh, I am... well, it's a long story.
誰だと聞いている? 答えろ!
I'm Chiziru Yukimura.
ほう。副長が故障に取り立てたという見習い大使とは、お前のことか?
Yep. Yes. I wasn't aware they were telling people that I was an apprentice warrior at headquarters. However, my reputation was the last thing on my mind as I faced this man's pressuring gaze. I didn't appreciate the harsh scrutiny he seemed to impose, scanning me from head to toe.
お前、局長や副長とはどんな関係だ?
That's a little difficult to answer.
同じ江戸の出身らしいが、どんな縁故を使って取り入った?
Tricks? I did no such thing.
そう向きになるところを見ると、ますます怪しいぞ。ここは、お前のような剣の腕も才覚もなさそうなものが、うろうろしていいところではないんだがな。もう一度聞く。どうやってあの二人に取り入った？この私、武田観柳斎が聞いているのだぞ。なぜ答えない？
Takeda. Okay. He grew increasingly agitated, almost like a petulant child, because I refused to answer him. He reached his massive hands over towards me as to grab me, but then a voice stopped him.
おい、武田！こんなところで何をしている?
Hijikata, thank you. When he recognized Hijikata's voice, he snapped his human back to his side.
これは土方副長。何？近藤局長に少々用がありましてね。
ほう。俺は何も聞いちゃいないが。
Seems like these two are at odds with each other. I wonder if this gentleman's a is he a captain?
最近お姿が見えない三段総長の代わりに相談に乗ってほしいと言われているのです。
Okay.
しかし、近藤局長もいらっしゃらないようなので、私はこれで失礼します。
Takeda turned to take his leave, but then he slowed his step, leaving us with a few words.
ところで、土方副長。そのものを故障に取り立てたというのは本当ですか？
ああ、少しばかり訳ありでな。
承知しました。訳ありならば、詳しく聞くのはやめておきましょう。ですが、あまり同じ郷里のものばかりを周りに囲うのはいかがなものかと思います。
Oh, because he's from Edo too, and so is the captain. So is the chief. So nepotism, how and everything.
では、失礼。
Once Takeda exited the hall, I couldn't help but feel a rush of relief.
おい、雪村。豚舎の中を勝手に歩くんじゃねえ。
I'm sorry, but actually you're the one I was looking for. Yes, sir. I didn't mean to cause trouble.
お前の正体を知っているのは、このヤギ邸に寝起きしてるやつだけだ。前川邸からこっちに来るやつらには気をつけろ。いいな。
Crystal clear. I promise to be more careful going forward. So, may I ask who that man was?
あいつか。5番組組長の武田官流星ってやつだ。腕はそこそこだが、文学だが軍学の多少の知恵を持ってるやつだ。
Strategist type person.
抜け目のないやつだから気をつけろ。
Okay.
それから、用がないならお前もこの辺でうろうろしてないで部屋に戻っていろ。
Can you let me look for Dad, please? Hijikata attempted to dismiss me, having said what he felt appropriate as a stern commander. I'm gonna ask Hijikata if I can help around the compound. I didn't get many chances to see Hijikata, so I took the opportunity to offer my aid to the house. I actually have a favor to ask of you, Hijikata. Staying in my room for long periods alone makes me feel terribly useless. Would you please give me something to do? I'll do anything. Cleaning, laundry, anything. Hijikata sensed the sincerity of my plea, and it appears as though he actually considered it.
部屋にこもっているのはそんなに退屈か？
Uh-huh. I need something to do. I need to move, please. Well, a little.
わかった。ゲンさんに伝えておくから、後で指示を仰げ。
Well, that's something. Really?
その代わり、あまり外から来たやつと関わるんじゃねえぞ。いいな。
Understood. But thank you so much. The next day, Inoue informed me that I was given more freedom within the headquarters, which allowed me to exit my room freely. My duties included cleaning, laundry, and cooking. Not the most glamorous of chores, of course. However, it gave me the opportunity to occupy myself as opposed to going stir-crazy in my room. Oh, yeah. I totally would go stir-crazy myself. June 1864. So we're just jumping around through the months. June 1864. Well, why do we need to say it twice? We saw it just a screen ago. The fourth year of the Bunkyu era had become the Genji Genin, and the summer sweetly blossomed. Spring shed its blooming skin, giving birth to lush green trees facing the wide open sky. During one of these beautiful summer days, I finished cleaning after everyone ate breakfast, and Saito brought me to the hall to Hijikata.
副長、斉藤です。雪村を連れて参りました。
Okay, so it says my name sometimes, but not all the time. Interesting.
入る。
Saito responded by quietly opening the sliding doors, gesturing me to enter the room. Upon entering, I saw Hijikata, but also Okita, Nagakura, Harada, and Heisuke in the hall. It appeared that only the captains who were aware of my situation were present.
随分と長く待たせたな。お前を外に出してやる時が来た。
Really? I could barely contain the excitement in my voice as soon as the words came out of his mouth. So, is it true there was a man in Fushimi that matched my father's profile?
真偽は定かじゃねえが、本人かどうかは娘のお前に確かめてもらうのが一番だと思ってな。
Okay. I nodded in response. For now, any information pertaining to my father was appreciated, so I was thankful. So, where is this man who supposedly looks like my father?
伏見にある寺田屋って宿だ。これから斎藤に確かめに行ってもらう。
Okay. Saito is assigned. I wasn't sure if that meant I was to accompany Saito, or if I'd have to wait longer for him. Then Harada chimed in.
だが、行動さんがまだそこに留まってるとは限らねえだろう。
ああ。伏見にいたってことは、今日の街中をうろついてる可能性もある。
That's true too.
その通りだ。だから原田と新八、それから平助の巡察にこいつを同行させて高堂さんを探してもらってもいい。
Okay.
俺たち全員で？いつもは手分けして順番に見回りしてるのに。
Hijikata didn't bother entertaining a response, instead looking towards me. Was he suggesting these were the men who were responsible for dealing with me should I attempt to flee? Heisuke must have sensed this as well, so he made no attempt to push the issue any further.
言いたいことは分かりましたけど、この子のおもりを僕たちに任せっぱなしってのは気に入らないな。今日は確か土方さんも外出する予定が入ってましたよね。今後のためにも可愛い小姓を同行させていろいろ勉強させたらどうですか？
何を言ってやがる。こいつが俺の小姓っつうのはお前が勝手に言ってただけだろうが。
Okay.
でも他の大使たちは完全にそう信じ込んでるみたいですよ。
Oh, you really like pushing buttons, don't you?
嘘から出た誠なんて言葉もありますし、相応の仕事をさせた方がいいんじゃないですか。
As Okita and Hijikata bickered at one another, the mood of the room was locked in their tense words until Harada whispered to me.
ま、今の今日は物騒だし、無理に出かける必要はねえと思うぜ。俺たちも一応、高堂さんの顔はわかるんだしな。
But I do want to go looking for him. I could look for my father in Fushimi, or join the patrol rounds assumed he's moved places, or stay here to keep safe from the outside, or accompany Hijikata as his page. What should I do? I can stay behind headquarters, accompany him as a page, join the run rounds, or go to Fushimi. I'm tempted to go on the rounds. I don't really want to accompany him as a page. I know it's safer here in headquarters, but still, I want to go. I want to be free. I want to explore. What to do, what to do. I'll join them on the rounds, I guess. Well, I would like to accompany Nakagura, Harada, and Heisuke on their patrol.
なんだ、俺たちと一緒に来るつもりか？巡察って遊びじゃねえんだぜ。
I know, but at least I get to walk around and I get to go outside.
別に脅かす必要はねえだろう。俺たちに表立って喧嘩を売ってくる命知らずがそうそういるはずねえし。
ああ、大船に乗ったつもりで安心してくれていいぜ。
Thank you. My hands trembled from excitement. I was going to be able to join Nakagura and the others. Yay! I I get to go out. This must be nice. Although I was given approval to peruse the inner yard or the front gate, this was special. It was almost 5 months since I've been able to step outside the headquarters and explore. Oh gosh, I must have been going absolutely freaking stir crazy. As if I could take my first breath after being submerged underwater.
俺たちから離れねえようにしろよ。知ってると思うが、今日の治安は良くねえからな。
Yeah, I'll stay close. Got it. While tagging alongside the men on their rounds, I was served a dose of reality I wasn't prepared for. A pervasive sense of revulsion came from every pair of eyes laid on the Shinsengumi. However, when we met their judgmental gaze, they pretended to go about their business, shuffling themselves away. Their body language denoted a mixture of fear and disgust, as if they were paralyzed by rumors. Amidst the haze, I overheard someone mutter, "The Mibu Wolves."
どうした？浮かねえ顔してるが、具合でも悪いのか
？Oh, no, it's nothing like that. I brought my voice to a whisper and quietly asked Rada a question. What are the Mibu Wolves? I heard in murmurs from the townspeople since we started doing our rounds.
俺たちのあだ名だよ。
Oh, nickname.
ミブ村の老子と狼をかけてミブロだと。
Okay. I'm not sure if being a wolf is something to be proud of. But why? You guys are protecting the safety of Kyoto, right?
今日の人間はよそ者が嫌いだからな。俺たちのことを田舎者だのなんだのって散々バカにしてくれやがって。
Unfortunately, yeah, if you're not a native of a certain place, people tend to get upset or frown upon you. It's really frustrating, though.
まあ、江戸みてえにいろんな藩の出の人間が住んでるわけじゃねえからな。どうしてもよそ者への偏見はあるさ。
As it stood, the warriors seemed used to how the townspeople treated them. I kept my hands at my side, keeping a keen eye around the city for any sign of my father. All of a sudden... Oh geez, a fight. Oh geez. A group of thugs with greasy, unkempt hair were causing trouble with some of the townsfolk. Heisuke noticed the emerging fray and was quick to aid whomever the thugs were harassing.
おい、てめえら！そこで何してやがる！新選組だぞ！神妙にしろ！
ミブローだと。
Yep. The Ronin caught sight of the Shinsengumi's light blue jackets and drew his sword in response. It was clear, however, the Ronin were no match.
おとなしくしろ。暴れなきゃ命までは取らねえよ。
One of the Ronin tried to make a run for it by pushing through the surrounding warriors.
待ちやがれ!
Heisuke chased after them, but the Ronin was quick at navigating the crowds, giving him the edge. I didn't think there was any chance of catching him, but then, appearing out of nowhere...
どこに行くつもりだ? 何もやましいことがないなら逃げることはないはずだろ.
Hello, who are you? Your face. A mysterious samurai appeared, grabbing the Ronin's shoulders and stopping him in his tracks.
邪魔をするな!
Oh dear. The Ronin threw a punch at the samurai, landing in his face.
その程度の腕前でこの俺の足止めをしようとするなど100年早いわ!
Oh crap. The Ronin roared with a smug laughter. Attempting to run, he was stopped by Harada.
おっと、どこに行くつもりだ？まさか仲間を見捨てて逃げるなんて言わねえよな。
豚書までお付き合い願うぜ。いつ解放してやれるかはわからねえがな。
くそ、ふざけるな!
Before the Ronin could swing his sword, Nagakura and Harada tackled and subdued him.
何をする! 離さぬか! うるせえぞ! 今からもっと痛い目に遭わせてやるからな。
Heisuke approached the mysterious samurai who attempted to stop the Ronin.
手伝ってくれてありがとよ。助かったぜ。
The samurai sat on the floor with his head down, hiding his bloodied, disgruntled face. Hmm?
別に礼を言われたくてしたことじゃない。
He wiped his mouth without wincing, adjusting his posture sheepishly. It sounded as if he was muttering to himself.
新選組が乱暴者の集まりだっていうのは本当らしいな。あいつが言ってた通りだ。
Heisuke was visibly angered by the samurai's words.
おい、俺たちが乱暴者ってどういうことだ？誰が言ってた？
いや、誰って。江戸じゃ誰もがそう言ってるぞ。名を上げることしか頭にない。血に飢えた人斬り集団の新選組ってな。
Yeah, they really do have bad reputation. Holy crow. I sort of knew they did, but wow. The samurai's harsh words rung deep within Harada, causing him to grab the samurai's collar and push him against the wall.
てめえ、今なんつった？
何をするんだ！俺は聞かれたから答えただけだぞ！
じっくり聞かせてもらおうじゃねえか。江戸の噂かどうか知らねえが、お前が俺たちをどう思ってるかをよ。
待て！俺の考えじゃないって言っただろうが！そこの人も止めてくれ！
こうなっちまったら諦めろ。佐野にはこの手の冗談は全く通じねえんだから。命が惜しければ、早いとこ詫び入れた方がいいぜ。
How much pride does he have? That'll dictate as to whether he apologizes or not.
なあ、俺たちのこと、江戸じゃそんなに噂になってるのか？
それは。
He turned away awkwardly, and a piece of paper dropped out of his inner pocket.
あ？なんだこれは。
Harada reached down to pick up the piece of paper, and the samurai's eyes widened in panic.
待て！それに触りだ！
The samurai raised his hand to grab the paper, but Nakagura and Heisuke were faster than him.
おーっと！
離せ！何をする！
With two men holding him down, the samurai's desperate attempts to break free of their grasp was hopeless. They were far too strong.
何をするはこっちのセリフだろ！どうしていちいち突っかかるんだよ！
What was on that piece of paper?
うるさい！このならず者ども！
Harada grabbed the piece of paper and examined it as Nakagura and Heisuke argued with the samurai. His face wore a deeply concerned expression. I wasn't able to catch a glimpse myself. My heart pounded. Was it a lead for my father? Did it describe a plot against the Shinsengumi? Suddenly, Harada looked up to question him.
お前、この絵をどこで手に入れたんだ？
Harada's tone of voice shifted, as if the two were locked in a duel to the death.
なんだ？何が書かれてたんだよ？
Nakagura could sense something was off with Harada. Harada handed the piece of paper to Nakagura without speaking a word. Nakagura examined it for a second before passing it to Heisuke, both of whom snapped into alertness.
武士に、こんなことをして、ただで済むと思っているのか！
そんなこと関係ねえよ。
What was on that picture? Like, what was on that paper? Some sort of drawing, but of what? The conversation shifted into an interrogation, one party in full control and demanding answers. The samurai glared intensely at the captains, but his words did not match his intensity.
江戸の知り合いからもらったんだよ。
Okay.
その知り合いっつうのは誰だ？
どうしてそんなことまで言わなきゃならないんだ。あんたたちには関わりのないことだろうが。
Apparently it is some of our business now, so you may want to, pipe up.
関わりがあるかないかは俺たちが判断することだ。いいから答えろよ。
Harada was clearly growing frustrated with the samurai's lack of cooperation. It was clear the samurai had nowhere to run, so he gave in, hoping to be let go.
知ってる絵描き見習いだ。 それ以上は言わない。
Okay.
この絵はそいつから譲り受けたのか、それとも売られてたものか。
売り物じゃない。俺が無理に譲ってもらったんだ。
Okay, that's odd.
絵は、これ1枚きりか、それとも他に何枚かあるのか。
わからないが、俺が知ってる限りその1枚だけだ。
Okay, so I'm thinking that sounds like a good thing.
そうか。
Harada held the piece of paper in his hands, exhaling while staring at it pensively. Nakagura continued.
この絵は俺たちが預かる。つうか、お前も今から豚書に連行だ。
Okay.
何を言い出すんだ！どうしてあんたたちが俺を！
The desperation in his voice was palatable, but Nakagura and Harada gave him no chance to leave.
つべこべ言うなよ。お前、名前はなんて言うんだ？
The samurai fired a glance at Harada, so sharp it could have cut, but he finally relented.
相馬和恵。
Kazue Soma. Okay.
相馬か。運が悪かったと思って諦めろよ。豚書で戦議してみて、問題がないって分かれば解放してやるからさ。
Despite Hesuke's reassurances, Soma showed no signs of giving up and seethed with anger.
何もしてない俺を連行しようとするあんたたちの言葉なんて信用すると思ってるのか？
Are you pulling away just because of having that drawing?
俺たちもできれば穏便に済ませてやりてえんだから、それ以上文句言うなって。
Hesuke seemed to be acting genuinely to Soma. I was surprised it didn't do anything worse. So we apprehended Soma along with the Ronin from earlier and returned to headquarters. I was so curious as to what the drawing was on the piece of paper. Perhaps it's best that I don't know. The men kept to themselves quietly on our walk. I wonder if we'll find out. Once we returned to the compound, all the captains were gathered. They circled around Soma silently, glaring intently at him. The air was suffocatingly still. I hadn't felt this way at the headquarters since my arrival.
で、この絵を描いたのはどんなやつなんだ？
Something they all know, maybe?
知らない。
おい、さっきは知り合いの絵師だって言ったじゃねえか。
記憶にないな。
おい、てめえ。嘘をつくのもいい加減にしろよ。
Soma, you better tell the people what they want to know without holding it back.
ねえ君、何も話すつもりがないなら切っちゃうけど、それでもいい？
Always with the violence, aren't you? That and you're a loose cannon. You're a very loose cannon. Okita reached for his sword, but Saito moved his arm to stop in front to stop him.
待て、宗次。三男さんの話が先だ。
相馬くんと言いましたね。あなたはこの絵を何を描いたものだと思っていますか？
浅黄色の大服を着た新選組大使だろ。
確かに着物はそうですね。ですがこの絵の人物は白髪で目が赤く口が裂けています。
Oh, it's a drawing of a fury.
あなたはこれを見て何とも思いませんでしたか？
Does he not know what the furies like? What the furies look like?
確かに変だと思ったが、そいつが新選組は鬼のような奴らだって言ってたから、そうなのかなって。
なるほど、鬼ですか。的を射ているかもしれませんね。
That's true.
ところで新選組のことをよく知っていて絵の心得がある人物、私、これを描いたのは伊吹くんですね。
Soma's eyes grew wide, telegraphing that his secret was revealed by Sanan. He was defeated, nodding to Sanan.
もう一度聞くぞ。この世はこれ一枚きりなんだな。
捨てるつもりだって言ってたのを無理やりもらってきたからな。
So why didn't you?
だが、なんだってこの絵のことで俺がこんな目に遭わなきゃならないんだ。
It's hard to explain.
こんな鬼みてえな絵が市中に出回ってみろ。
Yeah, it'd be bad.
俺たちの評判が今まで以上に落ちるに決まってるだろうが。
それは確かに。
というわけでこの絵は没収させていただきます。いいですね。
Sanan's rhetorical question left Soma no room to negotiate, leaving him to sigh in defeat.
わかった。好きにしてくれ。俺の疑いもこれで晴れたんだろう。
His face looked haggard, exhausted from stress. Kondo stepped forward slowly and nodded.
相馬くんだったな。俺は会津藩お預かり新選組局長を務めている近藤勇という。うちの大使が手荒な真似をしてしまってすまなかったな。許してほしい。
Again, you really like to advertise who you are and what your position is. Kondo exerted his extreme courteousness by bowing deeply and sincerely. Soma was caught off guard by his act of kindness, eyes growing wide. Instantly, he became flustered.
顔を上げてくれ！あなたは新選組局長なのでしょう！俺みたいな小心な者に頭を下げるなんて！
I don't blame Soma for being so surprised. The samurai way of life dictates that honor and hierarchy are more important than life itself. Supposedly, the punishment for dishonoring yourself can be dishonoring your entire family, even for one poor display of manners.
局長という立場にあるからこそ、己の過ちは素直に認めるべきだと俺は思う。まあ、世に言う武士のあり方とは少し違うかもしれんがな。
本物の侍でありてえと思っちゃいるが、今の武士の腐ったところだけを真似てもしょうがねえからな。
Soma was dumbfounded. He didn't speak or move. It was as if he'd never been shown similar kindness in his entire life. Kondo glanced kindly at Soma, his eyes trying to communicate a sense of safety.
この絵を描いた伊吹くんは元気にしているのかな？
Oh, does he know him?
はい、とても。
そうか。それはよかった。
Oh.
なあ、トシ。
Multiple people know him. Okay.
そんな奴のことは覚えてねえ。
Really? Hijikata didn't care for Kondo's olive branch. However, Hijikata's body language seemed forced, making me feel that he was secretly relieved that this Ibuki person is doing well. The other captains, too, reflected a collective sense of relief, easing tensions from earlier. Was this Ibuki a friend of the Shinsengumi? It's strange to think how large they are, and how many friends they've met and lost in time. It was obvious that Kondo deserved his place as chief, though for his warm demeanor.
では、そろそろ帰ります。本日の期待の大使の方々に対する数々の無礼、お許しください。
Soma seemed like a completely different person to the man we met earlier, and he bowed deeply.
それじゃあ、俺はこれで。
Heisuke, Nagakura, and Harada escorted him to the gate. I think they wanted to see him off.
いやー、悪かったな。無理やりこんなところまで連れてきちまって。
そもそもあんたたちが 俺から絵を奪い取ったりしなきゃこんなことにはならなかったんだ。
そう言うなよ。あんな物騒なもんを他の奴らに見られてたらもっと大ごとになってたんだぜ。
That's true.
そりゃそうかもしれないが、
何にせよ龍之介の消息も聞けたんだし、一件落着ってことでよかったんじゃないか。
そうだな。相馬だっけ？せっかく縁ができたんだし、気が向いたら遊びに来いよ。
Really?
遊びにって新選組と関わりを持ったりしたらいろいろと差し障りが。
That may cause people issues because, you know, your poor reputation and all.
ああ、そういや普通のハンズと。
Yeah, that would do it too.
確かに俺たちなんかと関わってるとバレたら面倒か。
Yep, yep.
いや、我が班は。
さて、そんじゃそろそろ飯の買い出しに行かねえとな。佐野、平介、付き合ってくれよ。
おう、そんじゃな相馬、また会おうぜ。
はい。
The three of them hurried off to shop for their dinner ingredients and once again leaving me behind. Soma looked at me shyly, and we both smiled faintly before finding the courage to speak.
そういえば聞くのを忘れていたが、君も新選組の大使なのか？
I help, but I'm not a warrior of the Shinsengumi. What should I say? No, I'm not, or actually, I'm a page. I'm gonna say, actually, I'm a page, because, well, that's technically is what I am right now. Even though lying is never a good thing, telling the truth about my situation would have more likely just confused Soma. Yes, I'm a page. Soma hung his head low and muttered to himself something that was slowly appearing to be a habit.
君のような年派のいかぬ者でも幕府のために働いているというのに、
String up all these paths, I don't want to.
不代の我が班は。
Soma's voice trailed off as he shook his head.
それじゃあ俺はそろそろ行く。皆にもよろしく言っておいてくれ。
Yeah, sure. Oh, sure. Goodbye. I bowed politely and Soma walked towards the gate. Soma was so full of mystery, reminding me just how far I was from home. I turned to head back to the headquarters, alone in the bleak summer night. I am starting up all these paths and I don't really mean to, but oh well. Chapter 2, 1864. I think, though, this is where we're going to leave things for now. What we'll do is we'll pick this up next time and see as to what happens at that point. So I'm hoping that, yeah, it doesn't move forward. So again, thanks everyone for joining me today. I do appreciate it. And what we'll do is we will continue this next week, see how it goes. Tomorrow we'll be doing Final Fantasy 14, so if you want to join in for that, I'm more than happy to have you. I'm going to see if I can try to finish up the last bit of A Realm Reborn tomorrow. We'll see what happens. But yeah, thanks again for coming by. Hope to see you again. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. Take it easy and see you later. Bye.